get a lot of questions asking how to make customizations to the rolling automated task tracker in Google Sheets. And the answer to that will depend on what customizations you're trying to make. So for example, if you want to add a column, that's super easy to do. It just takes a little bit of effort. And it will depend on if you're going to the left of column D or right of column D. And the reason why that's the case is because column D contains the automation triggers. So let's say you want to go to the left of column D and you want to have an assigned person. So that way you all work up the same spreadsheet and you can assign different people. We'll simply insert a column to the left of the task tracker, and then we'll change the column type to dropdown, and we'll input whatever person's name we want to have here. So let's say person 1 and person 2. And then to keep things nice and pretty, let's go ahead and add some color coordination, and we'll hit done. So now we have a dropdown for each person. We don't need it to be that wide, so let's go ahead and just drag the line between C and D to make it a little bit smaller. So now we're all set up with that dropdown, and we need to add another column to reflect on the parking task as well as recurring and as well as done. So that way whenever it moves from one tab to another, it will come through in the same format that it needs to. Now, since everything is coming from the task list to the part tasks, we don't need to create another dropdown since that will come through automatically. Now on our recurring tasks, we need to do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and insert a column between type and task list. And we'll put assigned. This time we do need to create the person dropdown. So we'll change the column type to dropdown, change the options to person 1 and then person 2. Once again, same thing that you did last time. Make sure you put the same color so everything is cohesive. Then we'll hit done. So now we can go ahead and assign different recurring tasks to different people. So I'm going to go ahead and just assign these randomly. And that's all we need to do on this tab. Now we can go to the Done tab, and once again, between the type and the task, we need to insert a column. And just like on the part task, everything for this is going to come from a different tab, so we just need to put assigned, and we can make it a little bit smaller, and that's all we need to do here. Now, unless you added a column to the very end, everything should still be in the ranges for the visualizations and such. But if you click on the 3 little lines at the bottom left, you can see a hidden worksheet. And all you need to do is click on one of the pivot tables and make sure that the end of the range matches the end of the range on our Done tab. In this case it does, so we're all good to go there. Now one thing is that column N doesn't have the alternating colors, so we just need to go to Format Alternating Colors and change the end to column N instead of column M, and now everything looks proper. Now we don't need the visualizations worksheet anymore, so we can go ahead and right click on that tab and click Hide Sheet. And now we're done with the customizations on our spreadsheet itself, so we need to update the automation. So we'll go to Extensions, App Script. And as I always say, you don't need to understand how this works. All you need to understand is that it's pointing to different columns, and all we need to do is update it based off of the new column location. So right now it's pointing to column 4 for the first timestamp. You count these off as 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. So now instead of it being in column D, it's in column E. So instead of us pointing to 4, we need to point to 5 instead, because that's where our new status dropdown is. Now for our timestamps, we have 12 and 11, so we just need to add 1 to them. Once again, it's simply adding 1 to be at the location it is. And you just need to count each column starting with A equals 1, B equals 2, and so forth until you reach the column that you want it to be. So in this case, whenever we mark the task as pending, we want the timestamp to be added to column L, which is task started. And when it's marked as done, we want the timestamp to be added to column M, which is task completed. So in our code, we just need to add 1 to the next one. So 13 for done, 12 for pending. And then for this section, we have it set where whenever a task is added to the task list, it automatically adds a timestamp under task added. So originally our task list column was in column C, which was column 3. Now it's in column D, which is column 4. So in our app script, we simply need to update the code. So instead of pointing to column 3, we need to point to column 4 instead. And then our timestamp needs to return in column 11. So our timestamp portion is complete, and we can move on to the trigger that moves the automation to the different tab. And this one's super easy. Instead of it being at column 4, we just need to move that to column 5. And you need to update this for all 3 automations for done, parked, and ready. And that's everything for this automation, so we can go ahead and hit save. And now we need to go through each of our recurring automations and update the locations. So what this is saying is on our recurring sheet, we're going to look at column 2 through column 6, and we're going to copy that. And then we're going to return it, we're going to paste it to our task list, starting with column 2 and go 6 columns wide. And we're skipping column 1 because we don't need the days to be copied over. Instead, we just want the type all the way through the task focus. and that's 6 different columns wide. But now since we added another column, it's 7 columns wide, so we just need to change the 6 to a 7, and we'll leave everything else the same. And that's all we need to do there, so we'll go ahead and save that. And we want to make this same exact update for every single one of our recurring automations. So we'll go to Tuesday, change the 6s to a 7, go to Wednesday, change the 6s to a 7, and so forth. And don't forget to save after every time you make edits. And if you built this from scratch, you may have only created it where you go through Friday and you don't have Saturday and Sunday. If you bought the pre-built template, Saturday and Sunday is there, so go ahead and make those updates as well, even if you don't use them. And then we'll need to do the monthly as well. This should only take a minute or two. Like I said, this isn't necessarily hard, it's just understanding what the code says, so that way you know what changes need to be made. Alright, so the last one we need to do is monthly, and once we hit save, we can go ahead and start testing this out. So I'm going to go to Monday, you can do any of them though, and click run. I made a duplicate for this, so I just need to authorize it to make changes on my behalf. If you've already been using it, you'll probably have already done this in the past, so you're good to go there. And now that it's authorized, once I press run, the execution will be successful. And if I go to my task list, I should see one of my recurring tasks automatically there. And if we did things correctly, the columns will align. Now I can change it to pending and double check my timestamp appears under task started. Before clicking done, I'm going to go to part and then go to my part task and make sure that all the columns align successfully. And then I'm going to go back to ready, and then we'll bring it back to my task list. And now we can move it to done. And not only should the timestamp appear, but it should also move to the Done tab, and everything should align properly. So everything's looking good. The last thing we need to do is double check the visualizations to make sure that everything's flowing through properly. And based off of one task being completed, it looks like everything's good to go. If you want to create multiple tasks to make sure that everything's flowing through properly, feel free to, but everything's looking good from my end. So that's how to customize your rolling task tracker by adding a new column without breaking the automation. Let me know if there's other customizations you're wanting to make. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment for more.